What if I told you that the biggest difference between rich people and poor people is not how much they earn, but how they think about money every single day? It sounds simple, almost too simple, but this one idea explains why some people stay broke their entire lives, while others quietly build wealth in the background. Think about this for a second. There are people earning high salaries who are still struggling to pay their bills. They drive expensive cars, live in fancy apartments, and wear branded clothes. From the outside, they look successful, but behind the scenes, they are drowning in debt and financial stress at the same time. There are people with average incomes who are steadily growing their wealth. They may not look rich. They live modest lives, spend carefully, and avoid showing off. But, over time, they become financially secure, independent, and even wealthy. So what creates this massive difference? It is not luck. It is not talent. And it is definitely not just income. It is habits. Your daily money habits are shaping your financial future right now, whether you realize it or not. Every decision you make about spending, saving, or investing is like casting a vote for the kind of life you will live in the future. Here is the part most people never think about. Money does not change who you are. It reveals who you are. If you have poor money habits, more money will only make those habits bigger. If you are careless with a small income, you will likely be careless with a large one. That is why so many lottery winners end up broke within a few years. On the other hand, if you have strong money habits, even a small income can grow into something powerful over time. In this video, we are going to break down the real difference between rich and poor money habits. You will learn how the wealthy think, how they make decisions, and how they use money as a tool instead of being controlled by it. Because once you understand these habits, you will start to see money differently, and that is where everything begins to change. Tell me when to continue to the problem section. Most people grow up believing that the key to financial success is earning more money, get a better job, work harder, increase your salary. That is the common advice. And while earning more money can help, it is not the real solution. In fact, if you do not have the right habits, more money often makes things worse. Here is why. When people start earning more, they tend to increase their spending at the same pace. This is called lifestyle inflation. They upgrade their house, buy a better car, eat out more often, and spend more on entertainment. At first, it feels like a reward. They think they deserve it, and in many cases, they do. But over time, this creates a dangerous pattern. Even though their income has increased, their savings remain the same or even decrease. They are still living paycheck to paycheck, just with a more expensive lifestyle. This is one of the biggest traps in personal finance. On the surface, it looks like progress. But in reality, nothing has changed. Now compare that to how wealthy individuals behave. Many rich people do not dramatically increase their spending every time their income grows. Instead, they focus on building assets and investing their money. They understand something most people ignore: spending money does not make you richer. Building assets does. Another major problem is emotional spending. Most people make financial decisions based on emotions rather than logic. They buy things to feel better, to fit in, or to impress others. This leads to impulsive purchases that do not add long-term value. There is also a lack of financial education. Schools rarely teach how to manage money, how to invest, or how to build wealth. So people grow up without understanding basic financial principles. They enter adulthood with no clear strategy for handling money. This is why many people rely on debt. Credit cards, loans, and buy now pay later options make it easy to spend money they do not have. Over time, this creates a cycle of debt that is hard to escape. So the real problem is not income. The real problem is habits, mindset, and lack of awareness. Most people are not intentionally making bad financial decisions. They are simply following patterns they were never taught to question. And unless those patterns change, their financial situation will not change. Now, let's break down what rich people do differently. Tell me when to continue to the explanation section. The difference between rich and poor money habits comes. down to how money is used. Poor money habits treat money as something to spend. Rich money habits treat money as something to grow. This is the core idea you need to understand. Let's break it down simply. People with poor money habits focus on consumption. The moment they earn money, they think about what they can buy: a new phone, new clothes, better food, or the latest gadget. Their goal is immediate satisfaction. There is nothing wrong with enjoying life, but the problem is when spending becomes the default habit instead of a conscious choice. Over time, this leads to money leaving their account faster than it grows. Now compare this with people who have rich money habits. They focus on creation instead of consumption. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" they ask, "How can I make this money grow?" This shift in thinking changes everything. Rich individuals prioritize assets over liabilities. Assets are things that generate income or increase in value over time. This includes investments, businesses, and skills that increase earning potential. Liabilities, on the other hand, are things that cost money and lose value over time. Poor money habits often lead to buying more liabilities than assets. Rich money habits focus on acquiring assets consistently. Another key difference is time, perspective. Poor habits are short-term focused. People want results quickly. They want instant rewards. This leads to decisions that feel good now but create problems later. Rich habits are long-term focused. Wealthy individuals are willing to delay gratification. They understand that building wealth takes time. They invest today so they can benefit tomorrow. There is also a difference in how each group views risk. People with poor habits often avoid investing because they fear losing money. But at the same time, they are losing money slowly through inflation and missed opportunities. Wealthy individuals understand that not taking calculated risks is itself a risk. They educate themselves, make informed decisions, and use investments as a tool for growth. Another important habit is consistency. Wealthy people do not rely on one big decision to build wealth. Instead, they focus on small, repeated actions. Saving regularly, investing consistently, improving skills over time. These actions may seem small, but when repeated over years, they create powerful results. Because in finance, consistency compounds. And that is the real difference. Not one big move, but many small, smart decisions made over time. Tell me when to continue to the real example section. Let's make this real with a simple example. Imagine two individuals, both are 25 years old, both earn the same monthly income, both have similar opportunities in life, but their financial futures turn out completely different. Person A follows poor money habits. Every time they receive their salary, they start spending almost immediately. They upgrade their phone every year, eat out frequently, and spend on things that bring short-term happiness. They do save a little, but there is no clear system. There is no plan, and most importantly, there is no consistent investing. At the end of each month, very little money is left. Over time, they start relying on credit cards or loans to maintain their lifestyle. Now let's look at person B. Person B earns the same amount but follows rich money habits. The first thing they do when they receive their salary is allocate money for saving and investing. This is not optional for them. It is a rule. They live below their means. They do not try to impress others with expensive purchases. Instead, they focus on building financial security. They invest consistently. They learn about money. They look for ways to improve their income over time. They think long-term. Now fast forward 10 or 15 years. Person A is still working but has very little savings. They are stuck in a cycle of earning and spending. Financial stress is constant. Any unexpected expense becomes a problem. Person B, on the other hand, is in a very different position. Their investments have grown. Their money has been compounding. They may have multiple income streams. They have financial stability and more control over their life. And remember, they both started in the same place, same income, same age, same opportunities. The only difference was their habits. This pattern is not rare. Many studies and observations of wealthy individuals show that a large number of them live below their means. They prioritize saving and investing over spending. They avoid unnecessary debt and focus on long-term growth. They are not trying to look rich. They are focused on becoming rich. This example shows something very important. You do not need more money to start building wealth. You need better habits, because habits determine how you use the money you already have. And that is what ultimately shapes your future. Tell me when to continue. To the lesson section. So what is the real lesson here? It is simple, but powerful. Your financial future is not determined by how much money you make. It is determined by how you manage the money you already have. Most people believe that becoming rich requires a huge breakthrough, a high-paying job, a business success, a lucky opportunity, but in reality, wealth is built through habits, daily habits, repeated over time. If you want to move from poor money habits to rich money habits, you need to start by changing your behavior, not just your income. One of the most important habits is paying yourself first. This means that before you spend money on anything else, you set aside a portion for savings and investments, not what is left over, but a fixed amount every time you earn. This simple habit alone can completely transform your financial future. Another important habit is controlling lifestyle inflation. When your income increases, it is tempting to increase your spending. But wealthy individuals resist this temptation. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle immediately, they upgrade their investments. This allows their money to grow instead of disappear. You also need to build the habit of thinking. Long-term, short-term thinking leads to spending. Long-term thinking leads to investing. Ask yourself before every financial decision, will this help me now, or will this help me in the future? Rich money habits are built on future-focused thinking. Another key lesson is to invest in yourself. Skills, knowledge, and education are some of the most powerful investments you can make. They increase your ability to earn more, make better decisions, and create more opportunities. And finally, consistency is everything. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Even small amounts invested regularly can grow into significant wealth over time. This is the power of compounding. Think of your habits as seeds. Poor habits plant seeds of financial struggle. Rich habits plant seeds of financial freedom. And over time, those seeds grow into your reality. The difference is not luck. The difference is discipline and the good news is this: you can start today. You can change your habits right now, and if you stay consistent, your future can look completely different from your present. Tell me when to continue to the call to action section. Now, you have seen the truth. Rich people and poor people are not separated by luck. They are separated by habits. And that means something very powerful. You have control over your financial future. You can choose to follow the same patterns that keep people stuck, or you can start building habits that create wealth over time. But here is the important part. Knowing is not enough. You have to take action. Start small. You do not need to change everything at once. That is where most people fail. They try to do too much too quickly and give up. Instead, focus on one habit at a time. Maybe it is saving a fixed percentage of your income every month. Maybe it is cutting unnecessary expenses. Maybe it is starting your first investment. Or maybe it is simply becoming more aware of how you spend your money. Whatever it is, start today, because the earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow, and time is one of the most powerful factors in building wealth. If you delay, you are not just delaying action, you are delaying the results that come from it. Now, if you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe to The Geeky Investor. This channel is all about helping you understand how money really works. We break down complex financial concepts into simple, practical ideas that you can actually use in your life. No confusion, no hype. Just clear thinking. Also, leave a comment below and tell me, which habit do you think is the most important when it comes to building wealth? Your answer might help someone else rethink their financial habits as well. And if you know someone who is struggling with money, or trying to build a better financial future, share this video with them, because sometimes, one idea is all it takes to change a person's direction in life.